Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to All Health Go by the Health Channel and to Finkelman's for the Chef in You. Today, we're doing something a little different as we pay tribute to one of the most amazing women that existed. Queen Elizabeth II gave her life to serve the people. She was the longest public servant that existed. She left a legacy of endurance, of persistence, of loyalty. And everything that we've been hearing from all the people that are paying tribute to her with all the events for the next days before her funeral, we hear that she was a comfort. She was their security and she was like a grandmother to them. So this is why we're paying tribute. When I was little, I went to a British school and I remember the protocols, the everything that the British stand for that is very different than the Americans or even the Colombians. And I remember when Princess Anne came to Colombia, I was one of the girls that gave her a rose symbolizing the flowers of Colombia. And I remember thinking I was not more than 8 years old that she looked just like one of us, not a princess of the fairy tales. And that's how we need to see her. Queen Elizabeth was a role model to all of us. There were many lessons learned, many of her wise sayings and quotes that she left us with. And this is why I wanted to invite today Katie Nicholl, straight from London, in between all her appearances in NBC and CNN and all over, just to talk to us and explain what the protocol is all about, what the plans that were made years ago, how they did them, and especially I want you to look at the way that everybody that is talking about the funeral in a public way has to be in black out of respect. And so today I'm also wearing black as a tribute to a woman that I learned to admire, that I learned to follow, and that I have learned many lessons of her legacy and her integrity in many of the challenges that she had to follow. So thank you, everyone, and let's welcome Katie Nicholl.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and we really appreciate having Kate Nicholl with us today so that we can understand. And first of all, I want to say how sorry I am because I know that you have been following the royals for many, many years. So I
Thank
know for
you.
you is a big loss. Katie,
It's a very big loss. It's a very big moment in our national history, and I've literally just taken a few minutes out for my wonderful Powers of the Heels ladies because I'm looking forward to coming and seeing you again in Miami, and of course I'm coming to talk to you about my new book, The New Royals, which is actually all about the Queen's amazing legacy and what next for the royal family. Which, as we celebrate the life, as we mourn the life of Queen Elizabeth and celebrate the era of a new monarch, King Charles III, these are all, questions that we're going to be talking about when we're together.
no, we can't wait. And in the meantime, I know that for the people here in the US and all around the world, it is hard to follow these strict protocols that you guys have, which I think it's beyond respectful. I think it's an amazing honor. But can you please explain, for example, what is Operation Unicorn and Operation London that went into effect immediately after the news of her passing?
Well, Operation London Bridge is the plans that have been in place for many, many years now for the eventuality of the Queen's death. And so the official 10 days of mourning and everything around the state funeral, which we know will happen on Monday the 19th, it's going to take place at Westminster Abbey at 10 o'clock on that morning, which has now been made a bank holiday. These are plans that have been under lock and key, really, but in place for many, many years. Operation Unicorn was one of the contingency plans for what would happen if the Queen didn't die in England. And of course, she died at Balmoral in Scotland. So Operation Unicorn, unicorn is the national emblem of Scotland, is actually what we've seen in place really up until her coffin reaches Buckingham Palace this evening.
Okay, and after her funeral, then the mourning period is over?
Well, after the funeral, the mourning period for the nation is over, but the mourning period for the royal family will continue for another 7 days. You won't see them on engagements. They will be observing a private period of mourning because actually they haven't had very much time at all to privately mourn the loss of, in King Charles's respect, his mother, and of course, you know, for William and Harry, their grandmother.
The question everybody's asking, is William and Harry talking to each other, getting a relationship in a more, I don't know how to put it, but it's in everybody's question. Like, are they going back to, I don't know if what they had, but moving forward, can they become closer again?
Well, I think it's everyone's hope, Gladys, that they will get closer and that there can be some sort of thawing of what we know have been very icy, very difficult and very strained relations. I mean, certainly that walkabout outside Windsor Castle, we were expecting the new Prince and Princess of Wales, but we weren't expecting the Sussexes. And it was with some surprise that we saw them. And I think everyone hopes that this can be the start of a rapprochement because no one wants this division, no one wants these warring brothers, and the Queen didn't want it.
Did the Queen approve all the plans before she died? Like, was she aware of everything that is going on right now?
Every piece of music you hear at the funeral, everything that you've seen up until now, and everything that you will see on what is going to be a very historic and momentous day on Monday will all have been signed off by the Queen. This is a state funeral, which means that it's been overseen by the Earl Marshal. And the Queen is, as we know, going to spend 4 days lying in state at Westminster Hall. And these were her wishes, and she signed off on everything.
But Friday, there's another type of funeral before. There's one. So now they're taking her to Westminster, and Monday is like the final funeral.
Monday is the state funeral. I wonder if you're referring to the service of thanksgiving for her life, which we saw yesterday at St Giles's Cathedral in Edinburgh, because she died in Edinburgh. Because she died in Scotland, she was taken to Edinburgh for this service of thanksgiving. It's when we saw the coffin, which of course had been taken from Balmoral through Deeside all the way to Edinburgh, where it was processed down the Royal Mile, taken into St Giles's Cathedral, where there was this service of thanksgiving, and where the King and his siblings kept a vigil last night. The coffin will come to England tonight on the Queen's flight with the Princess Royal, Princess Anne. The coffin will lie in state effectively, although it's not really, at Buckingham Palace. She will be there with her family. They will be able to keep a private vigil there. And of course, all of the members of staff who worked for the Queen at Buckingham Palace before she's moved to Westminster Hall in what's going to be a very moving procession, I think, tomorrow, led by the King and the Queen consort. She will lie in state in Westminster Hall for 4 days. The queues, Gladys, are already starting. They are snaking all the way back from Westminster Hall at the Houses of Parliament. They're expected to go all the way down the South Bank as tens of thousands of mourners come to pay their respects and actually be a part of history. We haven't had a monarch die in this country for 70 years. And the Queen's state funeral is certainly going to be a moment that I know I'm always going to remember. And I think many people in Britain feel the same. They want to be a part of it.
And you said that it was Monday, a national holiday that will continue.
Bank holiday is going to be a bank holiday, national holiday. People won't be expected to go to work. I think shops and restaurants, mostly across the United Kingdom, will close, and you will be able to tune in and watch unrivaled coverage. The BBC have been brilliant in their coverage of the death and every day since, and that is the place to go to for all the updates and what I know will be really very moving, informed and unrivaled coverage on the day of the funeral.
Katie, I don't want to take more of your time because I know that this was a gift for us. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all of you. Thank you. And
And
sorry for all the traffic in the background, but it was the only quiet spot I could get to come and speak with you. And I look forward to speaking to you in much more salubrious surroundings in Miami, hopefully early in the new year. Gladys will confirm that.
thank you so much.
Take care.
You too.
Take care. Bye-bye.